Would you like to have peace of mind, healthy relationships, and a victorious Christian life? These were the three most common goals of the Christians who came to see me in my office. But these goals seemed so hard for them to reach. And I kept asking myself, why were so many Christians struggling with their thoughts, moods, and relationships? I mean, where was the peace that we had promised everyone who became a Christian? And if we had all the answers, why were so many Christians broken, struggling, and in my office looking for help? Well, God used those questions to change my life because I started looking for answers. And the first thing God showed me was that there were physical conditions that made it hard to control our thoughts. And these are the mood disorders, depression, anxiety, and mood swings. And as I talked to my struggling patients, God showed me which patterns of thinking were caused by chemical imbalance and which patterns of thinking would respond to medications. Well, this was a breakthrough for me and my practice because my patients with mood disorders started to recover at a surprising rate. Well, when word got out that my depressed patients were recovering, then I became swamped with calls of people who wanted to come and see me. So then I had to give up general practice and give all my time to the treatment of mood disorders, and primarily in the Christians who came to see me. But medications alone can't set people free. They're very useful, but they can't do the whole job. And God had more to teach me. So a few years later, when I was interviewing one of my depressed patients in hospital, her eyes glazed over and a voice came out of her and said, "Leave her alone, she's ours." Well, what would you do? Of course, I was frightened and completely confused and shocked. No one had ever trained me what to do in this situation, and there was certainly no pill for that. But I learned very fast that I was in the front line of a spiritual battle, and that spiritual battle was for the control of our minds. So I had to learn about spiritual authority and how to use it to set people free. But this still wasn't enough. God had one more lesson for me. A few years later, Kathy and I hit a marriage crisis. And once again, I didn't know what to do, and there was no pill for that either. So we had to go and see a counselor, and he taught us about our emotional baggage and how it affected our personalities and relationships. So we had to deal with our own emotional baggage to see our marriage healed. And then God showed me how these three experiences fit together. You see, there are three parts to humans: body, personality, and spirit. And in each of these three parts, you can have a malfunction that keeps you struggling throughout your life. So in the physical realm, you can have chemical imbalances and like mood disorders. And in the personality realm, you can have baggage, which affects your thinking, personality, and relationships. And of course, Satan always wants to attack our minds to prevent us from living a victorious Christian life. But the good news is that God has given us keys to set us free in all three areas. And these keys changed my life. Now, what about you? Do you struggle with your moods? Do you have thoughts that you don't like and you can't stop? And do you overreact to situations which causes you embarrassment? Do your relationships stress you out instead of bringing you pleasure and companionship? Does your life feel like a constant battle with work, marriage, and parenting? Would you like to see some big changes in your life? Don't believe the lie that you are stuck and there's nothing you can do about it. Just imagine what will it be like for you to be relaxed, with a clear mind, enjoying your relationships, and walking victoriously with God. That's the new you. That's the life you were made for, and that's the life God is calling you to today. And with God's help, you can do it. And that's what the 10 steps are all about. You see, in this program, I've condensed the transformation journey that God took me on into 10 key steps, and we'll do them together. And it took me years to figure this out, but you will learn it in just a few hours. The 10 Steps to the New You program is an easy-to-follow roadmap where you will learn how to assess your thinking patterns, unload your emotional baggage, and how to walk in spiritual victory. And each step starts with a 10 to 15 minute teaching segment with Kathy or me. But the best part of every session comes when we lead you in prayers that invite the presence of God to come and speak to you, reveal things, and to heal you. I can't change you, but when we bring the presence and power of God into every step, there is no limit as to what can happen. And this program is not designed to be just an educational experience. Head knowledge can't transform you. The 10 steps are designed to be a supernatural healing encounter with God. And this program comes with a workbook file which you can print out and use for personal or group study. So after each video, you will answer the questions in your workbook, and they review the most important points for you to remember. And the videos are all around 20 minutes or less, so there's plenty of time left for discussion or prayer if you're doing it in a home group setting. And the subjects of all 10 steps are listed for you below, so you can go and have a look at them. And to reduce shipping costs, we've removed all of the packaging, so the DVDs just fit in envelopes. We don't need boxes anymore. And when you order, there's no risk to you. If you're not completely satisfied with the 10 steps, you can just return them to me within 60 days and I'll give you a complete refund. And if you have any questions about the program, just email me by using the Contact Us button at the top of this webpage. So are you ready to be transformed? Do you have the courage to take the 10 steps and allow God to change your life? And if you are, then click on the order button and I'll see you in step 1.